Welcome, everyone. This is Jimmy, and this is an AMA with Lee from Nekodex. This is a very exciting DEX. Most of you have, I think, heard of it because of the airdrop opportunity from a few weeks ago. Lee, how are you doing? Welcome to this AMA. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing great, and it's really awesome to meet everybody. And yeah, excited to chat with everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Let's immediately deep dive. I know a lot of people would love to hear more about Nekodex, about Perpetual Protocol, what it is, why the mobile, why Spot first. But there's so many questions, Lee. So I always need to control myself a little bit before I go from one topic to the other topic. So I've done my best to prepare a few questions. Firstly, tell me something about you, about yourself, and your role there within Nekodex and Perpetual Protocol.
Sure. Well, first, let me start by apologizing that my camera is not working right now. I had some computer issues and still getting over that. But yeah, you just have to settle for hearing me.
You, you're
uh,
you're,
but
you're forgiven, Lee. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm Lee is a real person, a real and handsome person as well. I can confirm. So please, Lee, go on.
well, you're too kind. Yeah, hopefully one day I can appear in person on your AMA again. That would be great. Anyway, as for myself, I have been first. Let me say that Nekodex is a product from Perpetual Protocol, and some of you may have heard of Perpetual Protocol before. Back in 2020 and 2021, Perpetual Protocol made a bit of a splash with the first on-chain perpetual futures DEX, and it was pretty popular at the beginning. And then through a very long journey now through the bear market, we did a lot of building and a lot of thinking about like what the future of the perpetual space will look like. And yeah, we came up with a bunch of stuff, not the least of which is Nekodex itself. And so Nekodex is basically designed to be an app that's as easy to use as a Binance app, OKX app, but everything is on chain. Your funds are on chain. You maintain custody over your funds. They can never be frozen by the DEX or the exchange or confiscated, anything like that. And so that's basically our mission. And for myself, I've been with Perpetual Protocol since 2020. So it's coming up on 4 years, which in DeFi feels like basically I'm almost a grandfather at this point.
Uh,
But yeah, enjoyed every moment of it, and yeah, really looking forward to talking with everyone today. And at Perpetual Protocol, I'm working in the growth and marketing department as well as community. So if you join our Discord, chances are I'll be the one chatting with you. And yeah, welcome everyone to stop by and chat with us anytime.
I think it would be definitely a good idea to drop that link to the Discord or to the community as well later in the chat. Lee, like if I may ask, I believe that FTX was a terrible disaster, of course. However, it's also triggered a lot of people to do things more on chain. Because we all know, not your keys, not your crypto. Do you think that also like the collapse of FTX, was also a positive catalyst for a lot of DEX providers, such as Perpetual Protocol, and DeFi providers such as Nekodex?
Well, you're absolutely right that it was a pretty bad moment for everybody, and including actually our team. Some like individual team members and some team funds were held on FTX.
Mhm.
Luckily, it was not like a substantial amount, but yeah, for people around at that time, I think just about everybody
Yeah.
uh, was affected in one way or another. But personally, I've always been a very much like on-chain first type of guy. I come from like actually a Bitcoin background, so for
Mhm.
me, like keeping any funds on an exchange for more than basically more time than you need to complete your transaction is not really an option. And yeah, so that's a major motivation for us in building Nekodex. And I think there's been a lot of wake up calls along the way. FTX was maybe the biggest in recent memory, and has it helped? I mean, definitely. I think people who survived that and kept on going in the crypto space,
Mhm.
definitely a different way of looking at things. And so the this sort of also triggered the bear market a little bit. So it's hard to say, was there a direct effect or not? I
Mhm.
think next bull market will be a little bit more instructive on that side. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
I will also say one more thing about FTX if I can.
yeah, of course, we would love to.
People, yeah. So people, crypto users love to dig into the past of, and check out the background of all the tokens that they're thinking of buying, which is absolutely a must in crypto. And you should always do your own research. And so people like sharp-eyed bird nest users will notice that actually Perpetual Protocol was invested by Alameda Research as well as Three Arrows Capital, who both died in that explosion.
Yeah, true.
But you'll be happy to know that all the vesting and the tokens that were allocated to those now defunct investors were all vested a long time before that, and I don't think they held any, and they certainly don't hold any now. So yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there.
Yeah, super, super interesting. Me personally, to be honestly, some people they ask me, where do you normally trade on, which exchanges? Because I live in the Netherlands. Binance is not possible here in Netherlands. I tell people, actually, 90% of my crypto activities is all on chain. It's just by using DeFi and DEX protocols instead of doing things on a centralized exchange. And I believe in my case, this was mainly triggered by the collapse of FTX. And I see a similar behavior among a lot of other traders, especially not only traders, but crypto enthusiasts, that started their journey in 2017 and 18. But enough about FTX, because maybe some people they will get some traumas as we talk maybe too much about it. What I would love to hear from you, Lee, is Perpetual Protocol team. They are known actually for their perpetuals, the on-chain perpetual trading. But with Nekodex, it started a little bit different. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, this was sort of a surprise to everybody, including a lot of team members. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the story behind it. So for the past year plus during the bear market, the Perpetual Protocol team was working on the version 3 of the Perpetual Futures DEX. And actually, for the first stage of Nekodex, there was the Nekodex Playground, which was sort of the main airdrop period. People could go and trade perpetual futures on Nekodex for free using NekoCoin, and with the collecting the NekoCoin, which will later be used to airdrop to users in the coming weeks. And yeah, so that went great. But just before that, several of our team members who love to research all kinds of different things noticed that there's a bunch of tools available now to let users trade, buy and sell tokens very easily and with like a really uh, simple and intuitive experience. Even if they're buying, let's say you have your funds on one chain, even if you're buying tokens on another chain, these days there's like basically an unlimited number of chains almost, and it becomes very confusing and frustrating because if the token I want to buy is on another chain, then I have to figure out, okay, how am I going to get gas over there? How am I
Mm.
going to get my funds over and make the trade? And then once I've done that, like, do I leave the coins over there, or do I try and bridge them somewhere else? It just becomes a nightmare essentially. So some team members noticed, hey, there's a bunch of tools that actually can solve this problem already. So and because those tools are developed by other teams and they're actually in a pretty mature state, teams like Across and Zero Dev, actually all we need to do is put these tools together, and we can use the interface that we've already built with Nekodex and give users an amazing experience to trade across chain with basically just a click of a button. So the team decided, okay, you know what, let's just do this. We can get it out quickly. We can really show people what the future of DeFi might look like. they can start using it very quickly. So basically, during the Nekodex playground period, which was from May, early May to the end of July, the team worked really hard on creating a spot DEX using a bunch of tools, like I said, from
Mhm.
across protocol and zero dev and a few others. And yeah, created the spot DEX. So essentially what we decided to do was use the Nekodex interface as a platform to have a bunch of different products. So the first one would be this spot trading. And very soon, within the next day or two, actually, we're going to be launching earn vaults that you can also use, deposit your funds using the Nekodex app and earn a pretty decent APY on stablecoins. And for the perpetual futures, they will be coming in the next few weeks or the next few months. It's not exactly clear yet. We want to make sure that they're working as the absolute best as we can. We learned a bunch of things during the Nekodex playground. Actually, a Nekodex playground, even though people were trading for free, it all happened on mainnet, on Optimism mainnet. So you can go on Optimism mainnet and see all of your transactions during that period. And it was using the Perp v3, like the version 3 that we developed over the past year plus. So we're sort of putting the final tweaks on that and should be able to roll it out soon. So we will eventually come back to perps, but in the sort of long journey and over the 4+ years that we've been operating, we've really learned a lot of things about like user experience and what kind of issues users face, especially new users. Something we feel like most of the perpetual. Anyway, maybe I'll leave it at that. But really, we wanted to make a product that really appealed to new users and could make new users feel more at home trading on chain. Because like you mentioned before, you do most of your trades on chain. And for people who got a lot of experience and have been here for a while, if you've been here since the FTX days, trading on chain probably feels pretty comfortable, right? Like it's more comfortable almost than a centralized exchange. There's no KYC, there's no, you
True.
know, complicated logging in and all this, having to receive a password in your email every time you want to withdraw something like this.
True.
Uh, so on-chain feels pretty good to us. But I think if you're just coming to DeFi now and all of a sudden we're talking to you about gas fees and seed phrases and you have to connect your wallet and then you're signing a thing which jumps to the wallet app and then you have to go back to the UI.
Yeah.
It seems insane.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
hoping to really simplify that and make it more friendly for new people.
Yeah, that's then really good observation, Leah, because I also do believe that most people who are using now DEXs are those who have been using before centralized exchanges, and then they hopped into the world of decentralized exchanges. I don't see my non-crypto friends. At least not that easily, transitioning to crypto and then immediately using DEXs unless it's extremely intuitive and they have some guidance from their crypto friends. To circle a little bit back to DEXs, it's like the user interface is indeed extremely important. I believe that a decentralized exchange should feel and look like a centralized exchange. What has Nekodex or Perpetual Protocol done to, create this tool where it feels extremely intuitive and organic to use that dApp?
Sure. Well, like I mentioned earlier, the team saw that there were a bunch of tools available which we could combine into a really great app, at least that we thought was really great and that we felt that users would find it's really comfortable and easy to use. So the first of these is, most users these days, hardcore traders, of course, really rely on that desktop trading experience. They need big screens, maybe multiple screens with different charts and everything, all that information at their fingertips to make the trades when they need to. But I think for the more casual user, really what they want to do is be on their phone. They're on the subway on the way to work, or they're, on a break. They just want to check the price of something. They see a good price. If it's a low price, maybe they want to just buy quickly. If it's a high price, maybe they want to sell quickly. They don't need, they want to be able to do this anytime and at their convenience. So we decided that we wanted to do a mobile UI. So we basically built an app that's it's a web app, but you can sort of save it on your phone and it operates just like a regular app on your phone. But at the same time, you don't need to go through the App Store or Google Play to install the app separately. So this actually makes it a lot easier for us to update the app. We can update it very easily and make sure everything's running smoothly. And we don't have to go through the complex process of vetting from the Apple Store, which could take forever or maybe be denied, or Google Play Store as well. A little bit
That's
less restrictive, but yeah. So that's sort of the first step that we took. The second step is that there's a new kind of password system called Passkey, which is starting to come out. Like only a few websites really offer it these days, like GitHub, for example, and some other websites are starting to offer it. And basically, it uses your phone's internal secure enclave. It's called. There's like a secure chip on your phone that's able to produce and store passwords in a very safe way. So both Apple and Google support this, and pretty much all Android manufacturers and obviously iPhone all have this built right into it. And so what this lets you do is create a password, and then that password can then be used to create a crypto wallet entirely without you having to remember any passwords or store any seed phrases safely in your in your shoe cupboard or something, or in your underwear drawer. Or worry that the seed phrase will be found by somebody or lost and you lose your access to your wallet. Also, it prevents users from accidentally, like most of us have probably heard of somebody, or maybe even ourselves, accidentally giving our seed phrase to a scammer who's posing as a DeFi team, and they say you need to verify your wallet and just to provide the seed phrase or something. If you're a new user, it just seems like a string of words. Like how bad an outcome could there be if you give it to someone who seems trustworthy? Well, as we all know that doesn't end well. So if you're using passkey, this becomes impossible. Actually, there's no way to extract that passkey and give it away to somebody by mistake.
that's
All
super.
right, so yeah, well, we can cover.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
was just gonna say we can cover that a little bit later if you'd like. Yeah,
yeah,
because at the same.
yeah, that's indeed because Passkey, I immediately think about Apple. I wasn't aware that this was also possible on the Android phones. So this is a nice lesson learned for me as well. So I think it's nice to use like a DEX, and you don't, and remembering or writing down the seed phrase is not necessary anymore. It takes away like a big burden, a big obstacle, I believe. But there's like one thing you need to explain to me, Lee. That's the how is Nekodex gasless? Because we all
Sure.
hate
Yeah. So
gas fees. Uh, and if there's one thing I can do to avoid gas, I will do anything for that.
yeah, we think that definitely a lot of users will feel the same, especially if you're trading on mainnet. Yeah, so I mentioned already two components to Nekodex, which is the passkey and the web app that you can keep on your phone. So the other two components are something called Zero Dev, which I mentioned earlier, which is a wallet that is called an account abstraction wallet. Basically, what this is it creates a wallet that doesn't seem like a wallet at all. It works more like a centralized exchange account. So you create the account, and then you can deposit funds in there or remove funds, withdraw funds from that. And what basically it is it's a wallet that you control, but it can receive commands from somebody else that you authorize. So let's say I'm the user of Nekodex, and then the Nekodex team can basically, if I press a buy button, the Nekodex team will send the buy command to the smart contract, which will execute this thing that's authorized by you, and at the same time, the Nekodex team will pay for the gas. Now, obviously, this can't go on forever. We don't have we have enough money to operate, but we don't have enough money to pay for gas for everybody forever. But what it also lets you do is to bundle that gas fee in with your transaction. So let's say I have USDC and I want to buy Ethereum. So, it would just add a little bit of USDC to the transaction to cover the gas, and it's basically taken care of that way. Now, this is all great if it's on one chain. All the gas and everything is occurring on one chain. This is simple and everyone can understand. What if I want to buy, something on Base or something on BNB, something on Polygon, something like that? So this is where across protocol comes in, and basically across protocol can uh, be triggered by the same zero dev wallet. So you basically tell across protocol, okay, I have this amount of USDC. I want to buy the right amount of whatever token, let's say DGen token on Base. All right, so then we will basically go to, using the across protocol, complete this transaction entirely for you. So what happens is you spend the USDC on Optimism OP mainnet, and across protocol will buy the DGen token for you on Base. They send the DGen token to your wallet on Base, so the token actually remains on Base, and then the USDC is given to the across protocol, and they have a network of bots, basically, that are called a filler network that can execute these. They're called cross-chain intents, which is a very fancy buzzword these days. But basically, you have an intent to buy something on a chain, and somebody on that chain will fill the intent for you. And across takes care of everything, making sure that all the parties get paid and that the user's funds are safe throughout the process. So yeah, those are the basic 4 building blocks of Nekodex and how we eliminate gas and also eliminate bridges. Now, if you want to go the other way, let's say you have that DGen token, the price went up, or maybe the price went down, you want to get out quickly, you would do the same thing. You say sell, and across takes your intent, asks a filler on DGen to sell that token for you, and then they pay you the USDC on Optimism, so you get the money back.
Yeah. I also believe the future is cross-chain, 100%. I also do not like to bridge things myself. Well, one exception is, in hindsight, I'm pretty happy with, of course, like the wormhole airdrop. And that was because I want to bridge, token from one chain to the other. But like for daily activities, I do not want to rely on a very obvious third party, but directly on the app. I want to quickly switch my any coin, like USDT, to any, from Ethereum to any other preferred chain. So normally, like if I would swap, what would be the transaction time? I know it depends on the chain, but is there anything that to facilitate that bridging mechanism? Is there anything that slows down the process, or is it like a really swift and smooth process?
Yeah, it's not. It takes roughly 30 seconds to complete the transaction, and if there's some slight delay, it could be up to a minute. But generally, it's around 30 seconds. So in terms of bridges, across is very quick. It's very fast. But really, the time saving really comes when you consider the time you would have to spend going to the bridge website, connecting your wallet, choosing the different tokens that you want to bridge across, signing the transaction. We remove all of these little steps along the way. So basically, you're just pressing buy, and then you wait, and then it's done.
That's very convenient, and that's also the way how it should be.
Yeah.
I think we tackled like the gasless aspect of Nekodex, and also the cross-chain functionalities. Like one thing that might confuse people a little bit, and that's the walletless part of Nekodex. What can you tell me about that? And is it safe to have a walletless DEX.
Yeah, well, when it comes to new things like DeFi or walletless, when you hear this kind of thing, definitely the first question you want to ask is like, is this safe? How do I back it up? How do I keep it safe? What if I lose my phone? What if my, fingerprint can't open the phone anymore? This is really very important questions to ask. So actually, it's all based on something called account abstraction, which has been in development by the Ethereum community for at least a year. I'm not exactly sure how long. It might be up to 2 years at this point. And basically, the whole system is based on things that would be pretty familiar to any person who's been using Ethereum for a while, such as there are wallets and smart contracts, all that are the underpinning of it. And basically, all that's changed is who is paying for the transaction and the way the transaction is initiated. So we're using a system from Zero Dev. It's a account abstraction wallet provider, and they basically come up with a smart contract and a way to send commands to the smart contract and also control very precisely like what type of command can be sent, who can send a command, um, and it gets pretty technical, but essentially, like I say, it's a very mature technology that's been developed by the Ethereum community. And eventually, ultimately, we see it's gonna, like we predicted, will end up being kind of like buying things online with your credit card. In the early days of the internet, not all of us, may remember, but at some time when online shopping just started, most people looked at that and thought, "Wow, this is the craziest thing! Like, there's no way I will ever do that. Like, provide my credit card on the internet? Are you kidding me? Like, it's a recipe for disaster."
Yeah.
But gradually, with time, people realize, okay, the technology is actually quite secure and stable, and in some ways, it's even more secure than the legacy banking system. So we predict that very quickly, crypto users are going to see that okay, a lot of funds are being used to transact on this system. It's built with the same sort of core building blocks that basically all of DeFi is built on. And I think, yeah, if you're more concerned about this kind of thing, like definitely start with a small amount of funds, gradually build up your comfort level. You're also welcome to, come to our Discord, chat with us about it, and yeah, just gradually learn about it and see it and understand how it works. And something else I'll say too is that the whole sort of walletless system is also based on passkey, which I
Oh,
mentioned earlier.
yeah, indeed.
And so the wallet itself is generated using the passkey. Now, passkey is something that's on your phone, meaning, it's created and managed by an Apple device or a Google Android device, which, Apple and Google, even though we all use these things every day and for a lot of different purposes, including very sensitive purposes, uh, it's pretty natural to have a little bit of hesitation about trusting, is my data safe with Google? Is my data safe with Apple? You
Hmm.
know, and these are actually very excellent concerns. And if it does concern you a lot, then I would strongly recommend to look more into passkey and understand a little bit about how it works. And I won't go into too much detail here, but basically it's a standard created by uh, another group called FIDO. So it's sort of a third party standard that these companies have adopted. And it works entirely by like it's created securely on your phone. It can never leave the phone except for in an encrypted format. So that is one that's stored with Apple and Google to provide the backup. So if you restore your account on another phone or another device, then it will also have to be unencrypted. And there's a standardized process that both Apple and Google have come up to do that safely. So, and also it's important to keep in mind, most of the sort of crypto OGs are pretty comfortable with creating their seed phrase in a very safe way, maybe with an offline computer or
Hmm.
using hardware wallets. So, passkey may not be the best option for this type of user, but I think most users are in fact not really comfortable doing that or not willing to do that. They want to just have something that's easy to use, that's 99.9% safe. So I think to reach those users, the type of user that may be using the same password on every website or writing their passwords down on a piece of paper and they have to look at it when they log into a service,
Yeah.
for this type of user, passkey is like absolutely revolutionary. All your passwords are kept safely and they're kept safely on your phone. It's automatically backed up and you have a different password for every single service. And another benefit with passkey, sorry to keep going on, but I just think it's really great.
Yeah.
Like we always have problems with, people build a fake, like we've had lots of fake perp websites where it looks just like the perp service or similar to it anyway. They try to trick you to connect your wallet and sign, a malicious transaction to drain your funds. So with passkey, the passkey itself is bound to the URL of the service. So if you go to a fake Nekodex, if the URL of Nekodex is not exactly the correct one, then the passkey simply will not function. So there's no way to sign a malicious transaction and have your funds totally taken away.
Yeah, there it is. Security and convenience. I mean, I agree. A lot of people, they will go for convenience. Me, including myself, by the way. I have enough trust in passkey and the technology around it. And to circle back to account abstraction, I think you gave us like a really good explanation. I don't know, a few months ago, there were a lot of projects talking about the account abstraction, but there was nothing delivered. So I'm really pleased to see Nekodex, that you guys announced it, but also kept, your word and been building on it. So my next question is, the Burmese community, we participated in the training competition to earn Nekodex coins. So a lot of people are really asking me and themselves, and probably also you guys, when does the token come?
Yeah, this is the hot question. In fact, I'm surprised you waited so long to ask. So yeah, that's a lot of self-restraint on your part. Yeah, so everyone wants to know, when is the token coming? And the answer, unfortunately, is I still don't really know. The team is, we have team members dedicated to like trading and market making and this kind of task, and they're the ones who are coming up with the tokenomics, making sure that everything is well set up with the liquidity structure and everything to ensure that users get a fair price no matter when they sell or if they want to hold for a long term. Actually with Neko Coin, we really hope that people will hold for the long term, and there's a lot of benefits for people who are holding and using Nekodex. I think they'll find that there's a good incentive to continue holding. But if you're one of those people, you don't want to have that sort of sick feeling that maybe you're missing out if you don't sell, or if one day it's going to go to zero. So something that we're planning to do is having a liquidity structure that ensures that everybody can sell for a fair price if one day they choose to do so. Okay, so when is it coming? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a date yet, but it will be soon, probably within the next few weeks or most a month or two. So yeah, stay tuned, and also I highly suggest. I mean, I'm sorry to keep plugging ourselves over and over, but actually, Neko Coin is still being given out. You can earn Neko Coin right now, and actually, if you're one of those people who are using Nekodex now and earning Neko Coin, then you're getting a big advantage over the people who just only participated during the playground phase. Their stash is set. Basically, it's not going to continue increasing. But if you keep increasing it now, your benefits are going to be more and more. So that's my plug.
I've been stacking Neko Coin myself. One of the easiest way to do this is just go to the app. Of course, proof of personhood gives you a lot of coins, but also like the daily check-in. It gives you a nice reward. It's just like one click on the button, and it gives you 200 of these Neko coins. Are there any maybe tips and tricks how to get the most out of the app in terms of potential coins? I know a personhood, proving yourself that you're a person, can give you, some like a decent amount of Nico coin, the daily check-ins. Is there something else right now? For example, potential trading competition again, or something else where people can earn these beautiful coins?
Yeah, actually, the thing that we have running right now is where it's sort of a deposit campaign. Or yeah, if you deposit funds, then you can actually increase the amount of Neko coin that you receive every day, up to 1,000 per day. So
Hmm.
that's actually a lot more than it's not a whole it's not a lot compared to the playground phase, but compared to the previous sort of spot trading stage that we're in, that's a pretty big increase. And the beauty of that is you don't have to keep depositing all the time. You can just deposit one time, and that automatically increases the number of Neko coin you can get every day. So let's say you're already planning to buy some token. Maybe if there's a dip, you're planning to buy some Bitcoin, or if there's some new token, like we are trying to launch new tokens pretty often. So if there's some token you're thinking of buying, maybe just check on Nekodex first. And if you buy it on Nekodex, that automatically makes you eligible to get an increase in the amount of Neko coin you can get every day. So that's a win-win.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's sort of the main thing at this moment. And we will have new campaigns and new quests coming out in the future. So definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, hey, we may do another bird nest competition or something. That would be really fun.
Yeah, that would be indeed fun. I'm sitting now on 114,000 of these beautiful Nico coins. And I think those who are listening, maybe you still can outperform me. What do you think, Lee? Is it possible to outperform me with the coming quests and the things they can do? Probably yes. Huh?
Uh,
Let's give them.
well, I mean, I have a lot of faith in the bird nest community to perform well, but I also think that you're probably working hard on it every day, grinding on it every day. So I don't know. They're gonna have to work hard to keep up.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, honestly, one thing that people overlooked last year, especially also this year, is the airdrops. It was pretty insane, and I think this potential will only increase over time. So I would say, ladies and gentlemen, just download the app and play with it, claim your rewards, and stack up these Nico coins, because now they're still free. But eventually there will come an end. There will come an end to this, and you can only get these coins by probably buying them from the market. Lee, is there anything else you would love to share with us or show with us, or maybe some alpha, for example, what's coming next for Nekodex, other than the coin?
I think I've kind of spilled all the alpha already. I'm sorry to say, but what I can say is within the next day or two, we're gonna have a new earn feature, which you can just deposit funds and earn a pretty decent APR on stable coins. So that'll be something that's really easy to do. And if you've been looking to, if you want to get the boost on your daily Neko coin rewards, that would be, but you don't feel like buying any tokens right now, then
Mm.
that would be a really excellent way to go about it. Also, at some point, we're looking to include a way for people to directly fund their accounts with the credit card, or just more on-ramp options for people to start using it. Because another major pain point for new users is, you have money, but there's no way to get the money into the DeFi app. It's a very complicated process, and may not be clear to users how to do it. So we're looking to add some options for people like that.
That would be amazing, Lee. Honestly, 95% of what I'm doing is actually on chain. Like one thing that's still, through third parties and centralized exchanges, and that's the on ramp, off ramp. And honestly, if I could bypass that by using, an dApp, I would do that without thinking. Well, I will think a little bit, but I will do it eventually, because that's indeed something I also miss.
Well, I don't want to oversell it. I mean, I think unfortunately the reality is whenever you deal with fiat currency, there's just a lot more rules and regulations around that. And so
Okay.
far, yeah, the options for a truly free way to go between crypto and fiat hasn't become a reality. So when we do offer on and off ramp options, I think it will be through MoonPay or something like this that would probably still have some KYC depending on where you're living and possibly some restrictions. So I don't want to
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to give you too much hope, but it's in progress. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be lovely. Lee, thank you so much for spitting all that alpha, sharing all that insight with us. Folks, I would say follow Nekodex. I'm gonna drop quickly the link, the LinkedIn, no, the Twitter here in the chat. I'll also see if I can add this later in the subscription. Give Nekodex app a follow. Um, Download the app. It's extremely easy. You don't need to go to Apple Store. It will speak all for itself. It's self-explanatory. And until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, see you next time. And again, Lee, thank you so much for being here. And within 12 minutes of now, we're going to start with a live trading session or a trading review plan of our beloved BC Richfield. And a big shout out again to Nekodex and Lee for sharing so much information with the community. Thank you, Lee.
Well, thank you. It's been a real pleasure and looking forward to chatting with you guys again